Alright, so we got this thing painted this weekend. Let it sit Sunday, and here it is Monday. About noon, we got it over on my side of the shop, and we're going to do a little wet sanding and polishing. Looks pretty good, but we're going to knock down some of this kind of a rough area there. You can kind of see little chunks of stuff, and then just kind of knock down the orange peel a little bit. Pretty shiny. That glazer lays out pretty nice. But no matter what, you usually get a little dirt numbers or some sand numbers in there. So the thing, I think the plan is I'm going to go ahead and wet sand the quarters. I'm going to hit this with 1,000 grit, 1,500, and then 2,000, and then come back over this with a 3M product, get that polished out, and then we've got most of the inside there prepped for bed liner. We'll back tape it, and we'll probably spray some bed liner in there in the next couple of days. I still want to give the paint some time to harden up. It's just a hair soft, just a hair, it's just fingerprint just a little tiny bit. So cut that open and we'll let it sit, cut it open, and as we polish it, it'll sit and cure out a little bit faster the next day or two. So that's kind of the plan. We're going to grab some wet sandpaper, compounds, get everything set up, and then do some sanding. Got this sanded down with 1,000 grit. You can tell when I'm talking about orange peels, my camera will pick it up. You can almost tell, like here, this was 1,000. It's kind of textured, just like a peel of an orange. You can actually see that or not? There we go, get the light on it. You can kind of tell the whole orange peel is the peel that's caused by the atomization in your paint gun. Basically what we're doing is taking 1,000 grit on a block and knocking this down to where it's smooth. Kind of like here, you can kind of see a little orange peel right there. Okay. As we're looking for little shiny spots. We're taking 1,000 grit, knocking that down, and that'll get that smooth. Then we're coming back with 1,500, taking 1,000 grit scratches out, and then go back over with 2,000 to take the 1,500 grit scratches out. Then you go on up to 3 and 5,000, whatever you want to do. Found 2,000 is pretty good for the compound I use. 2,500 works real good. And then that's kind of a little 1-2 on what we're doing as far as the wet sanding process on this. Now we're going to hit the rest of this with 15 and go back over it with 2,000 and get the buffer out. So we got that knocked out with 2,000. Not too worried about here because there's going to be a flare that rides across here. Actually, probably about there. Then you take the chance of burning an edge or cutting through. So I'd rather leave a little orange peel underneath the flare. More material, the better. And also, I don't take the chance of peeling or burning through with my buffer or sanding through with my sandpaper. Kind of on these edges, a little trick is to kind of come up to them, but don't work real hard on this edge or you'll burn through it. And then when your buffer's wheels spinning clockwise, you don't want to buff into it. You don't want the bottom side of it to come off, where your pressure's coming off the panels, and not on the panels. Alright, we'll burn through it because I've done it a lot. Alright, I got that all sanded down with 2,000 grit, and we're going to move into doing some polishing. For that, we're going to start with a 36060 from 3M. Had pretty good luck with this. You could start with a wool pad or a foam pad and work your way all out to a black pad or even a light blue pad, which is an ultra fine. But I got a new pad and I want to try it out. It's off the Carglaw guy, so it's kind of a heavy cut. I got this one too, but it's like, we can hear that. It's it's a really coarse one, so I can always go to a coarser wheel if I start with something finer and I don't think it's cutting enough. You know, and if I have to, I can jump over to one of these wool pads. But for right now, this is a nice new clean pad, so we're gonna see if this will polish out 2000 grit. Alright, so that had been wet sanded with 1000, cross cut with 15, out to 2000. Then I started polishing with this new pad, swipe pad. I don't even know what the brand name of this is if I find out, but it cut pretty dang good. I got it off the Cargo guy. It's a Sims Arnold Speed Foam, yellow something or other. It's a cutting compound, but it's not a very aggressive cutting compound. So I actually found that I believe these are true white waffle buffing pad had just a little more grit to it. I could see a couple of little fine scratches that the yellow pad wouldn't take out, maybe 15, a little bit of 1000, and I ran over it with a black fine pad, all with the 3M extra cut compound. It's looking pretty good. Can't really see that in the light here, but not trying not to kill the orange peel, but it looks good because it's going to be a driver. And we went down to about here, and then we went down to about here. I don't do a lot of rockers. It might get a rocker cover, but also from here down, from about here down and all the bottom of this and the back of here is really going to get hammered driving down the road from all the rocks and stuff kicking up off your tires. So, you know, the uncut and buffed would, because you're actually taking material away when you're cutting. So I wanted to leave as much material there for as much protection. Just a little more depth to it, a little wet and richer looking. And that's just one compound, 3 pads. Next step is going to be running over it with an ultra fine polish, which will help take out any swirl marks and just give it that little bit of extra. And then you can go on all kinds of different stuff from there, but that'll get it good enough to get it over to the shop to get it put back together. So we're going to hit it with that, and then I'll show you the results.